Evening, everybody. I think, like me, I'm sure that when you see our students who are around the room and then our students who come up here and perform, you're amazed at what talent is here at Loyola, and all of you probably have your own stories about how your own experience here at Loyola formed you into the person you are today. And some of us who have had sons who've gone through here and are still here have those stories as well. And so what you're seeing tonight is really just a sampling of the incredible young men that we have here at Loyola and the incredible young men that you are supporting through your generosity all of the time. So take some time to speak with them. Ask them some questions. You don't have to only talk to them about the forensics team or robotics. Engage them in conversation about, what's life like here at Loyola. And I often say, anytime you want to come over to Loyola, any time of the day, John Stewart and I always say this, come on over for lunch, we'll sit you down with a group of guys, unrehearsed, and we'll see where things go. And I will tell you that we would not hesitate for one moment to put you in front of any of our young men, and we would be incredibly proud of who they are and what they would share with you. So take us up for that. John's buying lunch too. So this is one of the greatest nights for sure of the year, where we, as members of the Loyola community, are given the opportunity to thank all of you for your generosity, for your generous support of our school. And I thank you here today on behalf of our students, our faculty, our staff, and our Board of Trustees, because you continue to make this incredible Loyola experience available to our young men. So this is a great opportunity for me, of course, to share with you some of the highlights that have happened here on campus and those that have happened off campus as well. And as you know, and as you can imagine, student success stories here are so many. And they are not short, nor are we lacking the outstanding ways in which we've strengthened our program and enhanced our campus. For example, I'm very proud that we have 3 students named as semifinalists for the National Merit Scholarship Program. The Jesuit secondary schools around the country have achieved scores on the SAT higher than the national average. Loyola has scored even higher than the Jesuit schools benchmark. I think that, yeah. Loyola currently boasts 9 Knott Scholars. Knott Scholarships are awarded to the highest achieving students coming into the 9th grade. And it provides them with a 4-year full paid scholarship to any Catholic school in the region. And these 9 young men have chosen Loyola. So these are certainly great markers of incredible success, but I also want to focus on the many ways your gift makes an impact on our mission. More specifically, what each and every one of you do to enhance Loyola. Well, first of all, you help take us from education to formation. Our Ignatian formation programs have become more fully interwoven across all of our programs, introducing formation of our coaches as well as parents of all of our student athletes. And as I hear, that program that has been developed by Mr. Ben Horgan, who is here tonight as our Director of Mission and Identity, and our Assistant Athletic Director, Brant Hall, is becoming that by which other schools are looking to measure their own programs when it comes to the formation of athletes and the parents of athletes. We're able to send students abroad, to Jamaica and to Belize, so that they can not only serve those communities in those nations, but also to be enriched by the culture and form bonds with the people that live in these communities. We are meeting every student where they are academically, offering challenging courses that inspire intellectual ambition, and ensuring that every student here at Loyola and their learning level has the resources they need to be successful here at Loyola. This leads to success in college for sure, but it also leads to incredible success beyond the classroom and for the rest of their lives. You provide the perfect setting for our mission. Our campus, of course, plays a central role in the experience of our dimes. There's no doubt in my mind that day in and day out, as our young men walk up and down this campus, which seems like many, many miles every day, not for once do I believe that they take what is here for granted. And you can see that by the respect that they show for the grounds here and the buildings at Loyola. We created an engineering lab where students are able to tackle hands-on projects using tools and technology that you made possible. We added resources in the classrooms that offer students a true 21st century experience and gives our teachers even more dynamic ways to interact with the students and with the content that they're offering. We continue, as I hope you've noticed, to invest in our grounds, maintaining these beautiful open spaces where boys can free their minds and stretch their imaginations. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a very nice day here on campus when there's not a classroom teacher outside with their students teaching in the hollow or teaching in the Adirondack chairs just beside the statue of Mary. We take advantage, full advantage of this campus, and you make that possible. We've invested in our classrooms that fit the needs of this ever-evolving learning environment. Let's be honest, the young men that sit before us today are different than the young men that sat before us even 10 years ago. Their needs as learners and as young men are changing and are evolving, and I assure you that we have the resources available and the teachers here to make sure that every young man, whether he's 11 years old, just coming into the 6th grade, or 18 years old on his way out, I assure you they have all the support they need because of you. Campus signage. I hope you noticed, it's a little dark out now, but I hope you noticed that as you can, this is sort of a running joke among some folks here. We've been talking quite a long time about campus signage, but take it from me, it's not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of thought, and it requires a lot of planning. Our boys, for the most part, know where they're going when they're on campus. Maybe not the 6th graders or the 9th graders, and then some of the seniors, for one reason or another, have a tendency to forget as well. I'll give you that. So in part, the signage that we have are for those guys too. But really, the signage exists because it was made possible by a gift from the Loyola Mothers Club. And I'm grateful for the support of the Mothers Club in this regard. We often talk about hospitality here at Loyola. Those signs are a symbol of hospitality because when you enter campus, prior to the signs being here, and if you weren't familiar with Loyola, you were lost, honestly. And so this is a signal of hospitality, something that we are very, very proud of to communicate to our prospective families as well as guests. You also make the dream of a Loyola education a reality. We now have over 50% of our students receiving either merit or need-based financial assistance. Students from diverse backgrounds who possess a wealth of talent that enrich our community are here because of your generosity. It's the young men that you support that breathe life into this campus. And these are the young men who transform those of us as adults who are here each and every day. Side note, I had lunch today with a group of 10 6th graders. They're not shy. Some of the parents are here, I think, tonight, probably. They're certainly not shy. And I mean that in the most endearing way. You put one question out to 11-year-olds, and they never really answer that question, but they find a way to engage one another in conversation. And I'm going to tell you what one young man said. I said, so what is it about Loyola so far, it's only been a few weeks, that really excites you the most, that you really like the most? He said, You know, on your website, I said, well, our website? He says, yeah, you know, on our website, along the screen comes up brotherhood. It's about brotherhood. He said, yeah, I think it is. I feel that already. What do you say, right, when you hear that, except wait till you've been here for 7 years, and wait till you've been associated with Loyola for many, many years beyond that. It is about brotherhood. So if an 11-year-old young man who has only been here for several weeks is feeling that and is identifying with that, I think we're doing something right, for sure. And you are as well. So with your continued help, we make a Loyola Blakefield experience available to young men like that little guy. But one of the realities of the current market is that, as I mentioned, there are more and more families in need of financial assistance. And you help to bridge that gap. You help us ensure that young men who possess the gifts and characteristics that we value at Loyola become and stay Loyola Dons. And I assure you that we as a school will continue to work even harder to bridge that gap and create more ways to reward gifted students via merit scholarships, need-based aid that recognize their talents and passions they bring to our community. And another way we continue to increase our scholarship offerings is through our Greater Glory Scholarship Program. Many of you who are here support that program. Individuals, foundations, and companies fund a student's education for their full 4 or 7 years here at Loyola. And this year we have 32 students who are benefiting directly from that generosity. And here's the other thing. These are young men who not only go to class, participate in activities, but develop relationships with the donors. And you can talk to a number of people around the room here who will tell you that the relationships that they have developed with these young men over the years who they've supported has become incredibly meaningful and gave the donors an insight into what life is really like for these young men at Loyola. So thank you for making that possible for them. And so these are just some of the ways that you make us better. Why we're here tonight. It's about an investment. It's about investing certainly in the future of our country, because we know our guys go on to do great things, to be incredible leaders. But it's also about the here and now and the incredible impact that you are having on the lives of the young men that are here. All you need to do is look around the room maybe today, or show up for lunch when John's buying, and you will see on the faces of those young men, some of them are your sons, the impact that you're having. It's hard to quantify that. It's hard to make that tangible, but you gotta trust me. It's working. There are great things, great things happening. But we also need to begin to prepare for securing the future. Looking well beyond now. Looking well beyond the time that we spend in this room together. And I hope we'll be spending many, many years together in this room. But it would be selfish of us to not think about 160 years from now. To ensure, I know it's hard to think about that, I'm trying to think about tomorrow too. But it's about creating a sustainable school that ensures that we're here in 160 years, so that whoever's standing up here at that time can say, gosh, remember, I hear stories about 2015, 2016, and the generosity of the donors who came forward and supported the mission of the school and supported the boys. We're still doing it, and we're still doing it today, all these years later. And finally, I had lunch last week with Father Salmon. Many of you know Father Jim Salmon from the 70s. And he's not here tonight. He said to me, he said, I'm sorry I can't make it to your party. I said, that's okay, Father. I said, I'll have lunch with you here on Roland Avenue, and for me, that's good enough. I've learned a great deal from Father Salmon. Many of you know this, but Father Salmon started the development efforts here at Loyola in earnest. And that's not all that long ago. So I look back, and I certainly express my gratitude to Father Salmon and so many others that have formed me, have formed this place. And I think and I dream about those people who will be looking back on us all those years later. Let's make sure, through your support, and I will give it my all, and our team will give it our all, and our guides will certainly give it our all, that we're here in another 163 years, and we'll be looking down on this place very proud. So thank you very much.